Hello everyone and welcome back to my favourite room in the house. If you know me, you know that I don't collect GI Joe classifieds, so it's rare for me to buy them at all, let alone two in the space of a week, which is what I've done this week. And the reason for that is I spotted one on Facebook Marketplace about 10 minutes from my house for 25 Australian dollars, which is about $17 American, which I think is quite a good deal. And that figure was none other than the retro-carded Cobra Viper. There he is there. First impressions, looks awesome. The artwork's great. It takes me back to when I was a little kid. There's a file card on the back in a number of different languages, and obviously this guy came out in the same wave as Mindbender and Rock and Roll, so it maybe be a little bit older now, maybe a year old. I'm not sure. Maybe you can tell me in the comments below when this guy landed on our shelves, but I've never opened a retro classified figure before, so this could be interesting. I'm not sure how to go about it, because obviously I want to try and keep this card in good nick. I've got my little blade here, so I'll have a crack in just a second. Before I do that though, just wanted to let you know, recording this video all in one take. I am no professional, I'm just an amateur talking about his toys on YouTube. So if Dusty the dog runs off down the hallway barking, I do apologise. If the doorbell rings, I apologise. And I apologise for my voice today as well. I've been a bit sick of late, so hopefully I can get better in time for the Christmas period. If you like what you see so far, feel free to subscribe to my channel. It's great to have new subscribers on board. I'm aiming for 500. I reckon I'm about 20 away. So if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to do that. Please feel free to drop a like on this video and maybe even a comment. Happy to come back to you in the comments. If you have any comments or questions, chuck them in there, and I will certainly engage, because meeting new people is lots of fun. But here's my knife. Let's see if we can open this guy. And I think attacking it via this tab's probably going to be the best bet. And I reckon I'll just carefully try and get rid of that sticky tape there. I don't want to damage the card. I want to sort of keep it. I'm one of those. I'm a bit fastidious with this kind of thing. So let's try and be a little bit careful. We'll see what happens when this tab opens up. All right. It doesn't seem like the bubble is going anywhere. So, I might pause the recording and take a moment to open this bubble without wrecking it too bad. Or should I just tuck into it? Why not? Here we go. This might be the totally wrong way to do it, but I'm gonna give it a go. Here we go. Down the side. I think that's okay. I think I've done it. I think that's the best way to do it. Classified people, please tell me if I've just cut this guy open the right way. I'm almost there. Just free up this one last corner so I can get in. There we go. I think he's going to come out now. Yeah, beautiful. First thing I see is a stand. That's interesting. I don't think I've opened a classified figure that had a stand in it yet. I've got 6 or 7 classifieds, but never opened one with a stand, which is cool because sometimes it's tricky to get them to stand up. So let's see if I can squeeze this out. Looks like there's a couple of different shells in here. All right, here we go. He's out. I have almost freed him from his plastic prison. There's the customary instructions there, which don't really say a lot. I did scrape a little bit down the edge of that card, but look, it doesn't worry me. I'm going to put the card in my drawer. It's a nice to have, you know. It's not a deal breaker having a clean card. But let's cut this first bubble away from the bigger bubble. All right. Sorry about the crinkling of plastic if you are listening on your headphones. A couple of weapons in there. I'll come back to them, but he looks to be secured firmly in here with some plastic tires, which I'll just cut to remove. There we go. I think he's ready to pop out now. Wow. Oh, first impressions, like, here's another classified figure that feels beautiful coming straight out of the pack. Like, the plastic it's not hard like the vintage ones, obviously, but it's not overly soft as well. I'll see if he stands up straight out of the packet, because apparently that's the thing to do. There we go. Minimal manipulation, and he stands up. That's very cool. So he looks exactly like the original Viper, and I didn't get him out of the cabinet. I might turn around right now and grab him. Let's get him out of the cabinet. Give me a tick. I've got lots of Vipers here, so just like the video the other day where I recorded and dropped a whole bunch of stuff. I'll try not to drop a bunch of stuff out of your cabinet today, but here we go. Here is an original version of the Viper. You can see it's a it's almost a like for like recreation. That is fantastic. It's beautiful. It's almost exactly the same. Maybe the sideburns on the helmet come down a little bit more, and there's a little less chrome on that face mask. But crikey, that looks amazing. I'm very happy with that. So let's have a look at him. I don't know a lot about pinless joints or anything like that, how boot cuts work and so on, but I have been doing some photography of late with a couple of classified figures, and I've been really impressed. And first impressions is this one is going to be no different. So looking forward to getting out into the backyard and having a fiddle around with him. So let's have a look at the accessories. First and foremost, there's a set of goggles, which of course came on the original. So the original's got a set of goggles. They're obviously not removable on the original version, but these ones are a nice sort of rubbery sort of texture, so they would have some flexibility. I reckon my Viper will kick around with the goggles on permanently, because I'm a traditionalist, I suppose. It might take me a little while to figure out how to put them on. Is that the right way up? I hope it is. If it isn't, please tell me in the comments. But I reckon that looks pretty cool. Yeah, I reckon that's right. Yeah, that looks awesome. Pretty happy with that. What other accessories have we got here? Well, we've got some hands, some removable hands. I'll just pop them out. We have a couple of different types of hands here. So we've got the fist attachments. Us. Hello, Adam. Us. And we have a pointy finger. It's pretty cool. How's that? I think that's out. That's a cricket reference for all you non-Australian viewers. And there's an open hand here as well, which is interesting. Looks like he is ready to scratch his nails on the blackboard or something. So that's pretty cool. We have a backpack. I'll pop this out. And this is a pretty good tribute to the original as well. So there is the backpack there. It's sculpted beautifully. Looks like it's got a canteen on there. It's a knapsack and a bedroll. I think the original looked very similar. There we go. So maybe it doesn't have a bedroll on top, or not as pronounced a bedroll, but there's definitely a canteen and a couple of grenades on the original. I'll see if I can chuck that backpack into the classified. We all know that classified backpacks are a bit ho-hum at times, so I might need to just pull him off camera to line up his vest with the plug hole. And this backpack peg is quite flimsy. It's quite rubbery. See if I can just show you a bit better. See, it's quite rubbery, so it actually makes it pretty tricky to get it into the back of the figure. But we'll keep plugging away there, so to speak. Pardon the pun. Pun intended. Crikey, this is hard work. Trying to line it up. Wow. Really struggling here. It just does not want to stick in his back. Tell me in the comments if you have experienced similar issues with classified backpacks. I'm really struggling to see where the plug hole is there. I reckon it's there. Let's have a look. Man, that's annoying. A few moments later. Okay, so I'm back, and I managed to get the backpack in. It took me a couple of minutes though. What you had to do was like really push the vest up, like towards his head, so that the hole in the vest and the hole in his back aligns perfectly, and you can plug it in. So that was quite a test. It's obviously childproof. Hasbro aiming at adult collectors. Pretty crazy. So I'll put these goggles back on his noggin, and he has his backpack. All right, now let's have a look at some of this weaponry. There is 3 weapons supplied with Old Mate Viper. There is a machine gun that looks like so. It's a very modern looking machine gun, that one, with a scope on top. That's pretty cool. There is a sidearm, which is in this second bubble. There it is there. That's a nice looking sidearm. Not sure if that was used in any other classified figure, but that's pretty groovy. I will maybe chuck that in the holster provided at the back. There we go. That fits beautifully. Ah, there's a little torch there. I didn't notice that before. It's a torch. It looks like Outback's torch. So there's that one. And there also is a rifle that looks a little bit more reminiscent of the original rifle, which I think I will display in this one with its, see, grey in colour, so it's very similar to the 1986 version, as you can see. Very, very similar. With a modern sort of a twist. Looks pretty cool. So I reckon I'm going to deck him out with that one. He's got his finger and his trigger finger and his trigger hand ready to rock and roll with that. So maybe I'll put it on the stand. He's pretty cool. I got to admit, they've done a good job, and for me to pick this up for, as I said, $25 Australian, I'm pretty happy. Maybe struggled a little bit to get get the old backpack on, but that's probably got more to do with me than the figure. But all in all, a very cool figure. I feel like I should give this guy a rating out of 10 in honor of my great mate GI Jetman, who I know will be watching, and I know he's interested in picking up one of these figures for himself. Not sure he's got one yet, but GI Jetman, this is a very solid 9 out of 10 as far as I'm concerned. My only knock on it is obviously that issue there with getting that backpack into his back, but otherwise, beautiful figure. Thank you for sticking around this long. If you have got this far, as I said before, feel free to subscribe. On the road to 500 subscribers, it would be great to have you on board. That is my super cheap 1986 retro carded GI Joe classified Cobra Viper with all these bits and pieces. We'll see you next time. Yo, Joe.